Hello, and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Atmansky, and I'm here today with...
Justin the Clue, and I'm ready to party because it's the summer.
Wait, are you wearing like a Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, and sunglasses, and what's that? I'm Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah, I was going to say you're hanging Spuds McKenzie. I'm Colin Kettingham.
And the summer blockbusters continue.
Yeah. Was this a blockbuster? I don't think it was.
Was this released in summer?
It was budgeted as a blockbuster.
Oh,
and, Rob Cohen at the time was coming off of Fast and the Furious and Triple X.
Oh, wow. So this was this was right after Triple X, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's funny because I never
cost
really...
$135 million.
Ooh. Oh, boy. And it's all on the screen. So I hadn't really heard of Rob Cohen until like today because he's not a household name for
until
me.
You looked him up and you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, boy, a lot of allegations against him lately.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, from his daughter and from Asia Argento.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. But turns out I've seen a lot of his movies.
They're bad. He's not a good
most of them. I mean, the first Fast and the Furious is fun.
Oh, no, it's not.
I mean,
bad.
Yeah, I can't remember it. All I remember is just the crazy camera moves going into like CG things, which, boy, does he ever do it here.
Well, I don't have my phone on me, but he's done lots of things I've seen.
Yeah.
He's a director that... if you explain to me what happens in his movies, I'd be like, man, that sounds so much fun, even if it's in a dumb way. And then when I watch his movies, I'm like, this is so boring.
Yeah, I can't get over how much I'd forgotten about Stealth. Like, you know,
we watched it like 4 years ago.
Like every time I remember it, I think about
it. It evaporates from your mind.
Yeah, that's a fun movie, you know. Oh, we should check that out again or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't remember half of this movie. Like, the plot is so convoluted.
I think bloated is the word.
Oh my God,
it's so over bloated with long scenes that go nowhere that do not need to be in this movie.
Such a structural mess that an hour in, I was like, what is the thread of this movie? Because you expect it to be like an evil AI plane.
Yeah.
But as we'll get to it, they ditched that with like 45 minutes left to go in the movie.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like if you walked out of the room for 10 minutes and came back, you'd think you were watching a different movie.
Okay. Well, I want to say that it's wild that this man has the sole writing credit on this movie. Do you know this, Colin?
No.
W.D. Richter, the writer of Big Trouble in Little China and the director of Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Holy shit.
So this movie, I was feeling like it's almost like they started shooting it without like a script. That's kind of how it felt to me. I don't know if that's the case, but that's what it gives off.
No. Well, I watched the way too long making of this movie, which I will drop in as we go through this. And Rob Cohen was very passionate about this project.
Wow.
He's like, I got all the actors I really wanted, Josh Lucas, Jessica Biel. And it's like, what are you talking about?
What a dream team.
Josh Lucas, that's like your seventh choice. So like giant tiger Josh Lucas.
He was big at the time.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if he was.
Giant tiger Bradley Cooper. I need to be more specific.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Josh Lucas. I'd only ever seen him in the Hulk, the Ang Lee one.
Hulk. He was in a bunch of stuff
He
at
was
this
great
time.
as the villain in that movie because he kind of has this like sleazy smarm.
He has a sneer.
He's got like this kind of gross smirk, although he's a very handsome guy, but you could easily be a serial killer.
Yeah, but for a while he was like neck and neck with Bradley Cooper as the kind of like handsome villain in movies, because you may remember him in such films as Wedding Crashers, where he's that's Bradley Cooper. You're wrong.
Yeah.
He was also getting a lot of rom-com roles. He was kind of him and Matthew
Sweet
McConaughey.
Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama, and there were others.
I could see he kind of has that Matthew McConaughey vibe, but with a sinister kind of, I don't know, underpinning or something.
Yeah, well,
that's
why one of his big major roles was in like American Psycho. He plays one of the guys that works with Christian Bale.
I didn't know he was one of those guys.
Okay. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, so, just got that look.
Yeah, I just like, I've got 6 bodies in my basement.
And Jessica Biel, so she's not a very good actress.
Oh my God.
And I mean, sorry. And so I remember reading an interview from her a long, long time ago, and she was complaining that she doesn't get any good roles because she's too beautiful.
Oh, they always say that.
And the thing is... Yeah, you're not getting the meaty roles. It's because you can't act.
You're bad.
But she's still acting. She's consistently been acting.
I can't remember the last thing I've seen her in.
She was in some like revenge movie recently, I think. I think that was her. And she's done TV and stuff. So she's still in stuff.
I can't remember.
Not much. Like I'm looking here. And
she was in, I remember listening to this sort of podcast. It was just like, I don't know, a serialized like fictional podcast, and she was in like the live action adaptation of it.
Oh, are you thinking of Candy? That's the
You're-
last thing that she did.
No.
And it's
I
like a
think that's what I'm
1980s,
thinking of.
a 1980s housewife and mother who did everything right.
No, she's
and like she
an-
uggoed herself up for the show.
No, she's like an investigative reporter. It's like a kind of science fiction.
Limetown.
That's it, Limetown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. But yeah, I mean, she's still getting roles probably because she's so pretty. So it's the opposite of what she said.
Yes.
You know,
What
and
was
I mean,
her
she's-
big role? I'm looking here.
I
and
mean,
like,
Rules of Attraction. She was in the
she was
Texas
briefly
Chainsaw.
in Rules of Attraction. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. She starred in Texas Chainsaw.
Texas
the new
Chainsaw, yeah.
2000 Texas Chainsaw
Blade 3.
Massacre.
Ugh.
And Blade 3,
Bad.
that's right.
Cellular. I'm looking here at all the stuff that she's been in. The Illusionist. Home of the Brave. Next. Now that's a contender.
Oh.
I,
Is it the Nicolas Cage one?
Yeah, the one where he has like a mullet and he can see into the future.
Oh, isn't he like a magician or something? Doesn't he? Have
no,
like,
he can see into the future. Oh yeah, he is a Las Vegas magician. You're
but
right.
he has like crazy hair. It's like this. Wild wig. Okay.
It's like a skullet.
Well, then
Oh,
the
it's so
third
weird.
the third member of this team, Jamie Foxx, who
Coming off of his Ray win for Best Actor.
That's crazy.
I kind of wish he was in this movie more. He's so nonsensical in
He has
the
my
first
favorite
part,
scene in this movie.
but like
when he dies.
he is so much. He's the most charismatic person in this movie, even though
Is he?
Yeah, he's acting like he
is.
doesn't even know where he is.
It
or what
looks like
doing.
he's on Benadryl. Like his eyes are barely open, and he's like,
that
"Hey,
goes to show you.
Well, I think
What
when,
are you
when
doing?
the trailers were kind of like heavily promoting him in this because I guess, he just won the Oscar or something. So I think people going into it thought that he was going to be the star of the movie.
he makes jokes about it in the making of, where he's like, they're shooting on the like gimbals for the planes, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, I'm not the star of the movie, so I only get half a plane." So maybe it burned him. Like he wanted to be the star of this.
I
I think
don't
it would have
know.
been better if he was personally.
Or
No shade
maybe
to Josh Lucas, but
was-
he's just okay.
It was probably one of those things where they shot it and then it went into post
Oh,
production.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
then Ray won, and then they're
And
like,
then
"Oh."
Ray won, and it was just one of those things where he wasn't like as big of a star.
Well, it feels like they included outtakes in the movie of him just like saying
They
things.
used everything that they
Yeah,
had. as
exactly.
Yeah.
Him just joshing around on set while they were setting.
It's like,
this
take
was
the
This was
bloopers.
the test shot, and then let's put it in the movie.
They should have
Rob
just
Cohen, he likes to just roll the cameras to get that like spark of energy going.
Yeah.
I need to be clear here. Rob Cohen is like the lamest man in the world.
Have you seen
And,
his
like,
IMDb picture?
If you see his like behind the scenes, he's like, "We're gonna bring you images you've never seen." Or he talks about the score. He's like, "I want to create a new score, something that's like never been heard of before."
yeah, Incubus.
Have you heard of Incubus?
Like 10 Incubus
And
tracks.
Incubus at this point, I think, had been around since the mid to
Yeah.
late 90s.
I
And
don't
so it's
know.
not like this was their breakout or anything.
He's just this old guy, like
Yeah,
that
and then they
thinks he's
cut
hip
to
and
like him
cool.
playing like a didgeridoo on the set. It's like,
Jesus
oh no,
Christ.
Rob.
It's like, yeah,
I mean, you could probably there's more crimes you have to face that people are accusing you of. But
Didgeridoo, eh?
Yeah.
Is he Australian?
no,
no, he's not. They shot in Australia though, so someone probably brought it to set and they're like, "Oh no," and he's just rocking out.
They shot in like many different countries for this movie. I saw they actually did shoot in Thailand. But
Yep.
they obviously that
For
it looked
that,
like Thailand.
yeah, for that
Did they shoot
very
in
very
Korea?
important
Vacation
break,
scene,
vacation scene that
35 minutes movie.
just
into
goes
the movie.
on and on. And it's like, oh my god, what is happening? Wow.
But anyway, yeah, I love Incubus. So I did like the Incubus songs, but they're not the
So
songs
like
that
when
you
the
know.
song started and Josh Lucas is like, oh, good song.
Yeah.
April was
No.
nodding along. She's like, that is a good song.
I was, but they were written for the movie, so
Really?
I was
is it
not
like
familiar.
planes are flying through the air?
Yeah, no, they said
Dude,
Rob,
yes.
Rob Cohen was so annoying. He wouldn't stop asking them to do songs for the movie. So they were like, fine.
'Cause he was a big fan.
They ended up doing like 3 songs because he's cool and hip.
Well, that closing credit song is like taking lines from. Or no, he's like, it's like we both have a brain, we both have eyes,
Oh,
or something.
no.
That's what the song.
Stealth.
He's singing about the plane, I guess.
God.
Yeah. So it wasn't like the hits. So if it was, but as I was saying, Incubus did like a big anti-war album before this, and this is very pro-military movie. So
Well, you
I
know
don't
what?
get that.
We love money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're shooting on like aircraft carriers and all that stuff, you have to get like the approval of the military, the U.S. military. So they have to like vet the scripts. So they have to read through them, you know.
Absolutely.
This
yeah.
movie
They do that
is
with all the
like,
Marvel ones, the
Although all the
Transformers
Michael
ones.
Bay ones too. Yeah,
Yeah.
anything Michael Bay.
This movie is like Top Gun for idiots.
Yeah, it's kind of I saw like similarities
As opposed to Top Gun, which is for the refined man.
Top Gun for
It has
even
some-
dumber.
It has some similarities between
For like comatose people.
yeah.
Like you just play stealth as you like pull the plugs. Just white noise over
This
it.
movie really just makes me think of like a teenage boy who was like, that looks cool, and then he goes and sees it in the theater, and he was like, it was okay.
No one liked this.
But no,
Yeah.
even this audience wouldn't like this.
It's just one of
because
those
it's
things.
too
like,
long.
Yeah, it's way too long. It's over 2 hours,
And it's just too dumb.
And it's just so convoluted. It gets so convoluted at the end when they're just piling on storylines and.
I wonder, like, why does Michael Bay have the juice? His Transformer movies are like 2.5 hours. People eat it up.
Yeah,
And then
people love
Stealth is
that
like,
shit.
Well, it's
Like,
just
it's
like
just bad.
I don't know. I mean, it has some kind of fun like action scenes, but
Yeah.
it's just like just scenes in between. Like we're talking
but
about.
Stealth
this-
has like, for something where the camera's zooming all around, has
Yeah.
like no kinetic energy. It's
No.
like, ugh.
Not enough contrast in the color grade. Now, Michael Bay,
there you go.
there's
Yeah.
the contrast.
He loves it.
I think what it needed to do is just I would have taken the script, chop out like that whole Sam Shepard bullshit story that
Rob
just-
Cohen's
goes
like, I
nowhere.
want Sam Shepard because he's such a great playwright. He has just a way with words. Sam Shepard looks so sleepy. He's like, hell yeah, you got to do this. Yeah, okay.
Why didn't
Yeah.
they just replace him with Joe Morton's character, like, and expand that?
Well, you've got to
'Cause
have,
you have
like,
to have a villain.
He's got to have a villain,
Yeah.
and then Joe Morton. Joe Morton knows something about fighting AI.
Oh, yeah. That's the only reason he was cast.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
just
You know
saw,
it.
we just saw him in What Lies Beneath by Robert Zemeckis,
Oh, yeah.
another movie where he's in like 2 scenes. It's like, come on, man.
He
Like,
kind of comes in and yells at people, but Sam Shepard, he would do roles like this to go like fund his play or something that he was.
I didn't realize he was a playwright, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah, huge playwright, super famous for that. There's a great reveal in this movie as we talk about all the actors, where it's like, oh, Richard Orbit, the guy who created this machine. It's like, I can't wait to see who it is. They even have like something in front of his face, and they take it down, and it's like, and the crowd's like screaming, "It's Richard Roxburgh, Dracula from Van Helsing, and the Duke from Moulin Rouge."
I mean, I was happy to see him. Colin didn't even.
I didn't even
him.
recognize.
I didn't
him.
even know who it was. I had to go look it up.
I
was
only
like, who
saw
is
it-
this guy?
I saw it in the IMDb beforehand,
And I kept
so
trying to
knew it
wrap
was
my
coming.
head around what accent he was doing. Is he like German or Swedish?
It's American.
I
You know what?
guess.
Maybe he got he was in Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. So maybe at the time he had Austin Butler's disease after playing Dracula in Van Helsing the same year.
He's so
Or the year
good, this
before.
guy. But
He's doing.
Are
this-
you? Do you have like a weird like Kenneth Branagh like that from association? Because he's
true.
kind of the giant tiger Kenneth Branagh.
Well,
He
he
kinda
never.
looks like Kenneth
Remember, we
Branagh.
saw him in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and he was great in that. Like we loved him.
wait, who
What
is
does
he in
play
that?
League?
He
I
is
think he
in
was the
that.
bad guy.
Oh, he's M. Yeah, that's right.
Oh
Moriarty.
yeah, Moriarty, and then he's of course Dracula. He was so good at Dracula in
just
Man,
Van Helsing.
He had a post Moulin Rouge run for a little while.
he was
where
in
it's like,
Mission Impossible 2, right?
That's
Wasn't he like
right,
the
yeah.
second baddie in that?
in Command.
Yeah.
Does he get his thumb cut off by that like a
Yeah.
cigar cutter?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was that
God,
guy.
can't remember.
He's good. He's definitely good at
He's
playing
good.
villains, and like he's fine in this. That he gets nothing to do.
Yeah, it's
He's
a
in,
very
like, 2
kind of
scenes
nothing
again.
role, and he
That's
has-
again, you have these people who are just kind of on the sidelines of this movie, like a guy from The Bear. Richie is also in this.
Oh, yeah,
and
playing-
he again has like
playing a
one
nerd.
one scene. He's the guy who like explains Eddie. By the way, Eddie. EDI. Now, what does that stand for?
Okay, I wrote it down. It's really funny. Hold on here. Oh shit!
You don't have
I
it.
don't have it written.
Well,
down.
that's it's the AI plane.
It's like
It's a jet.
something.
Electronic danger emergency.
No,
and
so-
emergency for some reason is spelled with an
something
I.
like deep.
EI emergency.
Not like Deep Impact or something. It was like electron. I don't know. Oh, please look it up.
All right, so obviously the plot of this movie
I'm gonna look it up.
is we have first of all, the opening crawl is really funny. It explains everything,
Very
but
dramatic.
it flies at you.
It's like I'm watching the-
It looks like Superman.
Yeah, the opening
That's what it
credits
looks
for
like.
Superman.
Yeah.
and it just explains that there's 3 pilots in the world who
Oh,
can
wait.
do whatever.
Okay, EDI Eddie. Extreme deep invader.
That's terrible.
that's really funny.
Sounds like the name of a soda.
Really?
It's
What
a-
sodas
it's
are
a
you
new- it's a
drinking?
new-
You're like, I want
It's a new Mountain Dew.
penetrate
It's a
deep.
new Mountain Dew flavor.
I don't know. It sounds like some sex toy or something.
Extreme Deep Invader, sure.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's an anal plug or something.
And it's shaped like the Stealth plane.
Yeah.
There's thousands of them. They thought this was going to be a hit.
And it has like AI built into it, and it's like, no, it's downloading Incubus.
It's screaming. Yeah, it plays. It vibrates to like the Incubus songs.
Yeah.
Oh, it downloaded all the songs from the web.
It's one of those
which
new,
ones?
new
Which one?
Bluetooth-
All of them.
Yeah.
And by that I mean the discography of Incubus. That's it. There's like new metal best of. I just downloaded all of them.
I know we're getting ahead of this, but what's so funny about that is that it downloads every song apparently in the history of the world, at least
Yeah,
what's
but it
on
only
the
plays new metal.
and then that is its favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same with what's his nuts from Queen of the Damned, you know?
Oh yeah, that's right. The vampire.
Well, he was
new metal.
asleep for like 50 years or something, so he
You know?
missed.
And Eddie is just coming to life.
Yeah.
You know, he just that's the kind of like
Bring me to life.
the type of music that people gravitate towards when they don't know anything.
All right, so we start this movie after those funny opening crawl or flying crawl, if you will.
Well, we are in the the very near future
Does
that
it
what
say
it
the
says?
very near? I thought it just said the near. It might have said the very near future.
or something like that.
The not too distant.
The
future.
not too distant future. That's what it says.
And listen, we're still bombing terrorists in deserts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lots of that.
My God.
And it's just this like, typical dog fight, scene. And then you're like, well, it's clearly not a real war. And then they reveal it halfway through that they're just bombing dummies.
It's just like a training mission, but it's like 400 applicants applied to this to test these new like stealth ships or something. It's only 3 of them were accepted.
And they're the best of the best.
They're the best of the best.
And they're all best friends.
Yeah.
Oh, they
of
love
course.
each other.
Oh my God, they travel together. They do that travel show to Thailand for 30 minutes.
They're filming
in
a
the middle of the
travel
movie.
show. Yeah. Well, like they're told that this new plane, this new pilot is coming. Who is it going to be? So they think
Yeah.
it's a person.
So yeah, they're gonna get assigned to like the USS Abraham Lincoln or something.
Now, I was very disappointed it didn't reveal that like one of the people that they mentioned, like they were killed and their brain was put in the plane.
Oh,
I kept expecting
That's
like, no,
that's a little too anime. I mean, the movie itself is a very anime setup until it just gets really stupid later.
Yeah.
But like, that's like the plot of I forget which one, but it's something like that.
Yeah, well, like Sam Shepard's like, you did a good mission. Now you're assigned to your ship. Now you're gonna go on some R&R. So and it cuts to them at like they're wearing their like officer whites and stuff like that at this like really kind of high end sushi restaurant.
And then they wear those whites to the club.
Josh
later.
Lucas is like tongue kissing this girl next to him.
They're
Like,
both so
and then
is
she's
Jamie
like,
Foxx.
I gotta go pee pee, and that's like literally what she said.
And
Yeah.
that's like the only joke of
That's
the
the joke.
movie.
and Jamie Foxx is like looking at this girl's boobs, making like a Tex Avery face. It's like,
Yeah, he's like, whoa. There's some really funny ADR where you hear like Jamie Foxx off screen be like, she nasty.
oh yeah, wait. She has to go pee pee.
He has a lot of ADR in this movie in general, which again makes me think they went back and put that in.
Like, we need more Jamie.
Yeah, they should have kept doing that. Like after his character dies, you just hear him from
We
off
need to
screen.
fox this up.
She nasty.
And then there's a lot of weird Dutch angles just in this sushi scene.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Rob Cohen, what were you thinking? He didn't direct Hancock, did he?
No.
'Cause
No, that's Peter Berg.
Right. Oh God. Because that was around this time and had a similar look, an ugly look, if
probably.
you will.
Yeah.
They go to a dance club.
Jamie Foxx loves to spend his time doing R&Rs, just spinning a basketball in his
Yeah.
room, wearing sunglasses when nobody else is around.
Yeah, they have this like I don't know learning montage where they all have to like learn about Eddie. And they give them all
Yeah.
these binders, and it's like he's spinning a basketball, singing,
Talking to himself.
Doing
He's
karaoke.
playing like make believe, like
Yeah.
pretending that the paparazzi are taking pictures.
He's like, please, no pictures.
This
no
is a 40-year-old
pictures."
man. And then you cut to Jessica Biel, who is bouncing like a little girl on her Bosu ball. Now, I don't have a Bosu ball to...
Have you ever had a Bosu ball?
I'm trying to think. No, I don't think so. Like,
I've sat on them at work.
did any of my offices ever have one? Like, I've sat on one at the gym, but when you're supposed to be like on a desk, are you supposed to be bouncing up and down and being like, woo?
You don't have to be.
I
think
don't
it's
think
just,
so.
It's just good for your core because you have to keep very... if you move slightly, you could easily fall off. while
I'm
you're-
just saying, I think they had her do that because they
Oh,
were
of
like,
course.
we want to see your butt and your boob shake.
Yeah. And it's like, that's why we put this bikini scene in.
Well, also, that's why my bra is like in this scene.
Watch out for my C cups,
Yeah.
as she says.
Yeah.
That line is, I think my soul left my body.
Yeah.
That line is really bad.
So it's clear. And it's like, so it's clear that Josh Lucas and her have some like kind of sexual tension there. There is a scene where after the sushi restaurant, Josh Lucas like takes this girl, they all go to a dance club and he's taking this girl home. And then he and like Jessica Biel share this look from across the dance floor. It's really weird.
They like each other, but they're coworkers, so
Yeah.
And plus, it get too attached, you might make the wrong decision. It's all about the being professional.
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess.
Yeah,
So,
flying planes against. It feels like they're going to war. They're doing like unsanctioned missions, as it's revealed.
Yeah, like so in like the next scene, I don't know if it's the next scene, but the next mission, I guess, is we just found all these terrorists and they're in
Yeah.
the same building, but it's in an occupied city.
yeah, but I do like
Come on.
the kind of reveal. So it's Sam Shepard and Josh Lucas are up on the flight deck at night, and he's like, "Well, meet your new pilot." And then this I don't know, AI controlled ship lands. Edie does like the kind of vertical landing and takeoff, which is kind of cool.
Now, one might wonder why a ship that is a robot needs a cockpit. A cockpit that is technically big enough to house an actual...
Yeah, if they built this, they would not like let a man control. Like, it makes no sense.
It could
it
just
would-
crush the... I don't know.
Yeah, but it had like controls.
Where
that-
are we in drone technology in 2005? I'm going to say pretty far at that point.
Yeah, I
Not
would
this
say
far.
so. But yeah, it's like human controls pop out at the end. Obviously,
Yeah.
Maybe they just built that as a failsafe. I don't know.
I completely forgot. So they have like a seat and everything that someone could sit down in, and it's like, okay, whatever.
But the robot has a brain, which is a big sphere.
It's a neural.
It's
neural
a
net or
big
something.
round ball with like Christmas lights on it.
Yeah.
And we also haven't mentioned that like every scene goes like into the plane and into the robot wires, and it looks like
It's doing the Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious, or like the beginning of X-Men, because at one point you see like the robot's DNA.
Yeah. It's really it's kind of bizarre, but it's the effects I think are good most of the time.
Some of them are.
But it's funny when they're on like the flight deck and on the aircraft carrier. They did build I think one life-size mock-up of one of the planes, but most of them are CG, like the ones that are taking off and flying from the ship. So when the camera is grounded, when they're actually physically filming somewhere, the effects are actually pretty good. And then you get up into the sky, and it's just he goes nuts with the camera, like it's just.
And just
like a
makes
cartoon.
everything look
It's
so
not
rubbery.
connected to anything. Anything can happen. So
No, it has like a completely different visual style
it's not fun.
than the rest of the movie.
And it's like Fast and the Furious, where they're talking to each other. Like, well, in this case, they actually do have like radios to
Yeah.
talk to each other, but they're like looking at each other like from the cockpits.
Yeah.
And at one point, he looks at the at Eddie, and it's like it's a rope, but whatever.
Oh man, I forgot that like when they go on their mission with Eddie for the first time, Josh Lucas goes like through the city like 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, this is insane.
He's going so fast, it's like Fast and Furious vision of like, oh, and everything is like speeding.
No, it was
around.
turning
a fighter
it was,
jet.
It was turning into that scene from Torque at the very end.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
It was like when Neo was flying in like Matrix Revolution, the
Revolutions.
second one. He's like
That's
flying through the city,
Reloaded.
and all the cars are getting dragged behind him because he's flying so fast.
Except that doesn't happen in this movie. Everyone is
No.
fine.
Yeah.
So they
Well, we skip over that mission. Well,
It's very weird that in that mission in the city that they like bomb a building in the middle of a city.
Yeah,
that
it's-
seems very illegal.
well, yeah,
or
it's in the
war crime,
It's in the middle of
Implosion.
Rangoon. So
which America would never do.
yes,
That's
Commit
right.
war crimes.
So they're
Let's-
saying,
for the
in
record.
in Myanmar.
So they're just doing like a training mission, and then Sam Shepard's like, we just got an message from whoever in defense. It's like 3 terrorist leaders are meeting in this one building in Rangoon.
So is this like
In
their first
24
real
minutes.
mission?
Yes.
Okay.
So then they're like,
Wow, so weird that it's just like instantly.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
what happens is something they could have never predicted. The plane gets wet.
Yes.
Struck by lightning.
On their way back from this mission, there's a
This is-
thunderstorm.
yeah, it's like whatever. So Josh Lucas disobeys orders, which comes in,
He's a real
It's
maverick.
important. it's important later on. So basically, Eddie comes up with the idea. It's like, okay, we can't penetrate, the roof, the cement on the roof. So you have to fly really high and then fly straight down. Then fire the missile, and then it'll have like enough velocity to go through the whatever. So Josh Lucas is like, fuck that, I'm doing it. But he could have passed out. Yeah, and then he pulls up, blah, blah, blah. So then later on, Eddie is like, you taught me to break orders.
Yeah. One would ask why you program a robot, but whatever. It's a learning robot.
Yeah, Cousin Richie from The Bear explains later that it's actually programmed to evolve and learn. And there seems to be some sort of tension between like Joe Morton and Sam Shepard, because it's like, Joe Morton's...
Is he like his superior?
I don't know. Well, he's like the captain of the aircraft carrier.
Okay.
Sam Shepard is also a captain. I don't know how it works.
Nothing bad happens to Joe Morton in this, right?
No.
Okay.
An evil captain, as we'll learn later on. I mean, he's pretty high up in the U.S. military, so they're all that evil qualifier gets added automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so during this thunderstorm, it gets struck by lightning. And I thought it was...
And you see DNA being formed.
Yeah, yeah.
It gains sentience. Like, that is the number one, trope. Something getting struck by lightning. They did it in Friday the 13th.
I was questioning myself. I'm like, did I misremember it getting struck by lightning? Is that like, are they going to go that route? Is that what they're going to do?
Indeed, it is that stupid.
They could have just made it just evil, like it just learns. That's all.
Yeah, or
the
something
struck
like
by
that.
lightning is like very odd.
Well, the thing is,
that almost feels like something that was added in post.
Yeah, like they I don't know, didn't believe people would go along with it evolving and learning or something.
Okay,
like
this
that.
is 2006. Like now, like almost 20 years later, like every movie and TV show is about an evil AI. And I'm not saying it was novel at the time, because there were still plenty of shit like this from the 80s. But like, there was less. Now that's everything.
They didn't need the lightning thing. It's kind of just so stupid. And it's like planes actually get struck by lightning all the time. It's like they're designed to kind of deal with it.
Maybe it was an act of God. Like that was
God
like
was trying to smite it or give it life.
Give it life, is what I was thinking. Maybe he was trying to
smite
it.
God loves new metal.
Yeah.
Like, I want to spread the new metal love.
He's a big Incubus fan.
And it's like this dramatic scene. It gets struck by lightning. It barely makes it back to the aircraft carrier, and then Cousin Richie is like pulling it apart. He doesn't look very like official or anything. He's just wearing like a t-shirt.
Because that's always like, he's like the IT guy.
But it's just you figure they'd have more than one guy working on this thing.
He's like the only one that knows how to work the inner workings of Eddie.
He's like sitting like in its chair with like a pile of wires on his lap, and he's like holding this thing. I'm like, it's probably like billions of dollars.
And it's a killing machine.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I don't know. He looks like he's 25 or something.
Richie's very young in this.
But you know what? Our guys deserve more R&R.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Shepard.
That's right. So we're going on vacation
again.
Why is this in this movie?
I don't know.
It stops the plot. It's just because they just want to develop the relationship between these characters. But it's telling us stuff that we already know. That Jessica Biel and Josh Lucas like each other, and that Jamie Foxx likes women.
Yeah,
he picks up a local woman and goes on a walk with her.
Yeah, and it's like this travelogue moment that I can only imagine is in the movie, or they shot it.
Because Thailand gave the money?
Yeah.
Shoot here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or it was just like, they had cut it out early on, and then it was like, oh shit, Jamie Foxx, he's coming hot off of Ray.
We gotta have some scenes for him.
Need more Fox.
Need more scenes of him in this movie.
Before his character,
bites it.
Exits.
Spoiler. Then they have they're in this like sexy waterfall. Gotta get Jessica Biel in that bikini
and Josh Lucas in a bathing suit. So just saying.
Yeah, there you go. And then they get Paige to come back to like do another mission with Eddie. And what is it? It's like Josh
I don't even
Lucas,
know.
He starts butting heads with Sam Shepard because he's like, "Come on, this thing is like fucked up. It got struck by lightning. It's crazy. You know what that means? You've seen movies before. It's evil."
Yeah.
So of course Sam Shepard is like,
do it anyway.
Do it anyway. But it shows him like talking to someone in the government.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
So he's in cahoots with somebody who I don't know. I thought that was going to be a big reveal.
Is that supposed to be like a Dick Cheney type? like someone who is high up in like the U.S. government, but not the president.
Not the president, but I don't know who it is. And every time they cut to their scenes, it's shot from outside of the building, like from a sniper cam or something like that. Like the camera is so shaky, and it just keeps like zooming in on them. So I don't know.
That means it's dramatic.
It is.
Yeah, but it's like it cuts from that to Sam Shepard, and the camera is not moving at all. So it's very strange. It cuts from shaky to not shaky in one phone call.
Well, here we go on a mission with Edie, and this kind of reminded me of
Eddie.
Eddie. I keep saying Edie. I don't know why.
Edie would be
Why
if
Edie?
it was a girl plane.
Yeah.
By the way, the voice of this plane, the guy from Prison Break.
Wentworth
Did-
Miller?
and-
Dominic Purcell?
No, Wentworth Miller.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah, that guy. I don't think he
The
did much.
writer of Stoker, the Park Chan-wook film.
Wentworth Miller?
Oh.
Yep.
Really?
I think he wanted to be a writer more than he wanted to be an actor.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Is that the guy who
And,
did Old
he has
Boy?
Yes, Park Chan-wook.
Okay.
No shit. Wow.
And I don't think he's written anything since then. I don't think he acts very much either.
I
anymore.
haven't seen anything. I never watched that show. So
He was
No,
in like
me
the
neither.
DC universe for a while, and then he was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
like the kind of TV stuff.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, he actually wrote The Disappointment Room, which I believe is the DJ Caruso film.
Oh.
Which has a very unfortunate title
boy.
based on its critical reputation.
Who's
boy.
DJ Caruso?
Don't you know the director of The Salton Sea,
Suburbia?
Eagle Eye? Yeah, Suburbia.
Oh, okay.
Triple X Return of Xander Cage, the best Xander Cage
Oh,
film.
he did that.
You know, we still haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
You've given us the world.
That's the third
I am
one.
number 4.
You've given us
Yeah.
the world. That's the third one.
No, that's the third. There's only 3.
Oh, it's the second.
think
Sorry,
it was
it's
the
the
fourth
second.
one?
It's the second one I haven't seen.
Yeah,
the,
that's the one with Ice
that
Cube.
was
the Ice Cube one. Yeah, that's right.
From the director of Next.
It's all
all
these shitty
connected.
movies are all
Oh my
connected.
god. Hey,
All right, so let's
yeah,
get back
so
to the
this-
plot. They go on the
yeah.
mission.
they go on the mission. It's like, I don't know. What is it?
I don't even know what their mission is.
It's like
Oh, they have to bomb a village, and the issue is that
have to, yeah.
if they do it, it will let nuclear dust fall out on a nearby city.
yeah, they have to take out these Scud missiles or something like
Spoiler
that.
alert, they just do it. The robot does it,
Yeah.
and like it's never really mentioned after that.
No.
That like a whole village is basically killed.
Later, he apologizes. Like the robot, I think, apologizes for killing hundreds of people.
Well,
or
he just
something.
said like Josh Lucas is like, you broke my order, and he's like, you taught me.
I
Yeah, he
did
said,
it.
"You thought
I did
maybe."
it from watching you.
I did it from watching
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So,
Stupid
I
becomes the
watched
master.
Jamie Foxx, and now I love ladies.
but doesn't Jamie Foxx die
I
on
go
this
pee
mission?
pee now. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So it's like this happens, and then the mission is like continuing for some reason. And I guess that the team is like, we're gonna take after that happened. They're like, we're gonna take down this Eddie.
yeah, he said he's
They
like
try
he's
anyway.
found other targets or something like
Oh,
that.
But
yeah.
Sam Shepard is like, bring it back in one piece. How are they
Yeah,
supposed
I know,
to do
like
that?
how?
He like
They have like a giant
what?
Giant net.
giant net. They fly around.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a big chase scene here, and like this should be taught in schools of like how to make something unexciting. That is like it's so fast. There's no tension at all. You don't believe for a second Jamie Foxx could be like doing this stuff because it's moving so fast. And then Jamie Foxx's big dramatic death is it looks like he runs accidentally into a wall.
Yeah.
And they put a sound effect of him going right before it happens.
He goes like, it's very
playing, yeah.
unceremonious.
That's my favorite part.
They
of
do
this
use a
movie.
great
Me and my
plane.
friends like rewinded and replayed that like 10 times.
It's so funny because then they instantly cut to like his plane running into like a cliff, and it's like a
Slow
in
motion.
slow motion.
It's like ultra slow motion. Like
and it's supposed to look cool, but it just looks really like takes you right out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it looks like it's made out of kind of cardboard and balsa wood.
Yeah.
or
At least
something.
it didn't just cut to an explosion.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
you
is-
could see the plane like fall apart.
The only thing
I mean, I would have liked to see the skin be ripped from Jamie Scott's face, revealing Jamie Foxx, revealing a skeleton, underneath,
and he's screaming.
and then he's like,
What, like a Mad Max movie?
yeah, kind of.
his eyes have to pop out of his head.
Yeah, his eyes pop out. I mean, I would have been on the movie side if that happened.
We
Oh!
haven't mentioned how dumb their helmets look.
Oh my God,
they
they
look
look
shit.
like bike helmets.
They look like cycling helmets that
Yes.
you've kind of just like put like a chin piece on or something. It looks really
All right.
bad.
Well, we're coming up to my favorite scene in the movie. So this happens. They're really upset about it. And
Now,
then,
what's wild about this is it feels like we're like 100 minutes into the movie, and if you look at the time, you're like, there's an hour left.
Yeah, it is endless.
Really
endless.
The whole second half of a lot of it didn't need to be in the movie at all, in my opinion.
It should have just been like trim it down, just have it about the AI thing going rogue. It goes bad. They have to stop it. That's it.
Well, have Jamie Foxx die like in the third act, not like basically the end of the first act.
Yeah, it's just unreal.
But anyway, so Sam Shepard is like, guys, you got to keep going. You still need to bring the plane back. Do as you're told. And so they agree.
You need to refuel in the giant blimp that just hovers around Earth. Where you can
so
refuel.
Josh like Lucas goes to the fuel blimp.
It's like suborbit, like
I don't know what this
steampunk, like fueling facility. Or
it looks like it's made of like a kite. I don't know.
Out of what?
A kite.
Oh, a kite.
It's like a. It's
oh
like
man,
a flying
I just looked up aerial blimp for refueling, and the one that like the photo that came up is so funny. It just looks like a big butt. So maybe they didn't want that to be the.
Oh, yeah. You sent a picture.
I can look on my computer. So that's a real thing then. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's just not like in this movie. It seems to indicate that like it's been floating there for years. It's all like beat up and
like rusted. Like it's some like I don't know, self-contained thing or whatever.
It looks like a big bad computer graphic, which is what it is.
Yeah, it just kind of. I don't know. The design, I guess they get away with it because it's like the near future.
But like the refueling hose is so small.
That's what they're like.
Are they really that small?
So,
and they have to get that in there?
Yeah, Eddie is trying to like kind of get its fueling pipe into the thing. And then it's like access denied. Access denied.
I like that they have that security. No one can just fly up and take their fuel.
So Eddie just like shoots the spigot thing off the hose and then just rams its probe like into the hose itself somehow. I don't know.
An even smaller hole, and it's like flying because it can do that. But
it's AI, it can do it.
Okay, so is Josh Lucas's scene happening, or do we get Jessica Biel's scene next?
Jessica Biel's
scene is
so
next.
This is definitely my favorite scene in the movie. It's so funny. I want if I could like recommend to anybody, don't watch this movie. Just watch this scene because it's really funny, and it also goes on forever.
It goes on for so long.
Yeah.
Well, this is a scene for like visually impaired people that like Jessica Biel just narrates what's happening for like 10 minutes.
Constantly, yeah.
Her plane is shot. It was, I think...
It's not even shot. It just got damage in the Jamie Foxx explosion.
Yeah.
It's so lame.
They say like the autopilot or the navigational thing is fucked, and so it's going all over the place.
It's going to like self-destruct because I guess it's like a top secret plane or something. So she ejects... And I don't know if these physics are, correct on how this happens.
She's flying all over the place.
She's ejecting, again, narrating every single second of what is happening on screen.
Yep.
It's so funny, and
there's debris above me. It's coming down. And she's like, I'm at 6,000 feet,
5,000 feet.
Yeah.
I can't pull my chute because the debris is gonna come down and hit and land on my chute.
Also, I love no music.
I'm feeling a little constipated. Mouth's dry.
There's no music in this scene, which I think adds to the drama
and
the
the comedy. You could. I would love for them just like cut away. Go back to Josh Lucas, and then like 30 minutes later, cut back, and she's still
going
as
she follows.
1,000 feet.
I know. I'm like imagining like her just on a chair in front of a green screen.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, that's how they shot this. Maybe they had like a rig where they actually physically moved her around, like in 3D space, but. Like that's not what looked so bad, but like all the debris falling, yes, it's very computery, but it was 2006, so
some stuff looks pretty good though. My friend worked on this. This is big digital domain production.
Mm-hmm.
He developed He actually ended up winning an Academy Award, the technical Oscars
for this.
For the software he developed for this XXX and The Day After Tomorrow. It was like volumetric cloud software. So
cool.
All the clouds they're flying through used his program.
Obviously, they're not real clouds.
No.
No, they did not shoot these movies up in the sky.
Well, that's what they did with the new Top Gun. I'm just joking.
They the rigs they built for these, like the gimbals with the planes, were insane. Like just insane.
Yeah.
So expensive looking.
But anyway, so she falls.
It's all right up there on screen, guys.
She's okay. Her chute does catch fire.
Yeah, she opens the chute and then debris falls goes right through it, sets it on fire, and then she lands in northern Korea.
Yep, and she's okay.
North Korea?
She falls like 2,000 feet and just like bounces on a bunch of trees.
The trees catch her, and she's okay. And then she's just like stumbling around North Korea countryside for the rest of the movie, and they keep cutting back to it, and it's really boring. And
unlike Maverick,
awkward.
It happens in Maverick when they land.
That's right.
You know, and they have to go through the same thing.
Then they do like a cool like mission, and they steal a plane and stuff.
Yeah.
She's just literally running around with a gun.
Yeah, Maverick's like the example of, you know, how to do it entertainingly.
It's almost like they watched this movie and we're like,
kind of, yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. We could learn from this. Much like Eddie learns how to, be human.
So yeah, she crashes. Sam Shepard doesn't want to rescue her. They have to take down Eddie still.
What's funny is them awkwardly listening to her narrate all this. They keep cutting back to them listening, just in silence and not reacting. Because they're like, we're not doing anything.
So Sam Shepard.
What can we do? We're not even giving her tips or anything. Why is she narrating this?
I don't know. Sam Shepard, he's not even interested in helping her, and because he's got to be more evil. He calls his buddy at the government.
Government man.
He's like, here's the code for Eddie or something to allow the Russians to like shoot the AI thing down.
Yeah.
He's like, leak it to the Russians, blah, blah, blah.
But Josh Lucas, he's still out there.
He's got to die if he, I don't know.
Because I guess he's gonna reveal that Sam Shepard did all this bad stuff.
Yeah,
he let Eddie go out when it was clearly damaged. So he's up in the gas cloud, if you will.
Yeah,
that is what it is.
Yeah, Eddie like sets this ring fire off, which is kind of cool.
That was kind of cool, right?
It's kind of neat.
It's not something I've ever seen in a movie, I'll put it that way,
because
this like fueling thing is just spraying gas into the atmosphere, and it's like. He's like, I don't have any choice. I have to refuel, but like the slightest thing is going to send it all up, and then there's fire in the sky.
And then I must have missed a lot of stuff because like Eddie and Josh Lucas kind of team up.
Yep.
At this point, they become like friends.
Okay.
Sam Shepard is like, okay, land at this secret military base in Alaska. This is where it just gets so like.
Well, this is how he develops trust with the robot.
So I feel like I blacked out, and when I came to, Josh Lucas was just friends with the robot.
Yeah, I missed it.
Didn't feel like it was that dramatic.
This is what happened, and it was almost so subtle you probably missed it. So he's having a conversation saying like, you have to do what I say, and the robot's like, no, and the robot gets damaged in the explosion, and it's on fire. And then they're flying over the water, and then Josh Lucas puts a missile into the water, and the robot's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm a man of my word. And it explodes, and it gets water on Eddie, and it puts out his fire. And that's why he trusts him now. It's really stupid.
And then they
okay, but first we get to Alaska.
This is just there's like an evil doctor waiting for Josh.
This is so funny.
Yeah.
So the doctor's like, I got to give you a shot. This would be my favorite thing if I didn't have that Jamie Foxx scene. And then Josh Lucas is like, I don't want the shot. The doctor's like, I need to give you the shot. Josh Lucas, I don't want it. The doctor gets close to him, and he's like,
they're fighting forcibly.
The shot.
Yeah, he's like making such a face, and then Josh Lucas stabs the doctor with him. The doctor's like, oh, and dies.
I'm like, oh god,
bad plan.
So then. Yeah, I think Sam Shepard also kind of double crosses Keith Orbit. That's Richard Roxburgh's character.
Keith Orbit.
He created the AI. He sends him to Alaska as well, probably to kill them both and cover his tracks. So then Josh Lucas like gets in Eddie.
Yeah, he's seemingly meant to be killed by like one guy who's hanging out evilly with the gun in like the big
he looks
warehouse.
Really evil, though.
Yeah, it's so strange. So like Josh Lucas is like, fuck this. So he gets in the cockpit again, and then these human controls come out from nowhere. I don't know why they would build that
Well, he says to Keith Orbit, he's like, I got to get out of here. You got to show me how to fly this plane, So they team up, and then I think Keith Orbit is just
but barely
escapes.
because
he says,
Josh Lucas is like,
go west,
or Keith Orbit goes, what am I gonna do? Josh Lucas is like, I'll cover you, but then he just kind of like flies away. So I guess he's not covering him in any way.
Yeah, he just blows up the door. By the way, this
the best one-liner.
What was the one-liner?
He goes, welcome to Alaska. He like blows them all up.
Yeah,
this door explosion is fantastic. It's my favorite thing since April took the Jessica Biel thing.
I think it's the like in the making of, they're like, it's the biggest explosion ever on screen or something like that.
I feel like every movie says that.
Every movie says that.
Yeah, they
yes.
do.
But it is really big, and they have a lot of real people in there getting like yanked back. Cars are flipping. It's really good. They said they had to notify NASA before they blew up this facility.
Well, oh no, it's not this scene. It's the previous one. When he blows up the gasoline ring, where it's like you see it from blowing up.
That was funny.
And it has this shockwave that would have killed Josh Lucas. Like the shockwave in space is so big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great explosion.
So I guess the movie's over, right? Because the AI is good now?
You'd think.
No. Because we have to spend a lot more time going to save Jessica Biel in North Korea.
Is that it? Is that the only thing that's left? It sounds like it's a tiny thing, but it lasts a real long time.
It lasts
Just
half an
goes
hour.
on, and it's like...
And what's weird is there's no villain at this point.
Yeah, there's kind
the
of...
North
like
Korean bad guys.
Does Sam Shepard die in this movie?
He kills himself. So Joe Morton comes to arrest him. He's like, you're going to be arrested and court-martial, and we better hope Josh Lucas survives because he's going to testify. And he's like, okay.
Give me a minute.
Hold on. Would you just give me like a few more minutes? And he's like, okay.
And he's like in the bathroom. He
himself.
takes his ring off. He has some like line like, I'm not going out like this or something like that.
He phones his government informant guy, and he's like, I'm going to show you the difference between government and a warrior. And he kills himself.
He's a very one-dimensional.
The guy at the government's like, I appreciate that. Thanks, buddy, you dumbass.
Yeah, now I don't have to worry about you anymore. Yeah.
Delete message.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's the end of Joe Morton.
Well, you never see him.
No, of Sam Shepard.
Well, yeah, I mean, just Joe Morton's not in the movie anymore.
Joe Morton doesn't kill himself either.
No,
it's not
he comes back. But okay, so she is still running around Northern Korea, like Jesus Christ.
She brought a lot of bullets down with her.
Why wouldn't like Sam Shepard's so evil in this? Why wouldn't he get like blown up by the plane?
That should have
like,
happened.
Something.
Yeah, what an unceremonious end for who I think is our villain. And now you're right. Now we don't really have a villain. It's just rescue Jessica Biel from the evil North Korea.
He should have gotten the toe cutter.
April is very pro North Korea. She thinks that they've been muddied in the press.
I'm just talking about how they're portrayed in this movie.
Yeah, it's very evil.
Well, every ethnicity in this movie is
that's not white.
is portrayed very stereotypical.
It wasn't Toe Cutter who got that end. It was Johnny the Boy. Unless you're talking about how Toe Cutter died.
No, I mean the Popeyes.
Oh, the Popeyes.
Yeah.
What?
So we're talking about Mad Max because I just watched
Sam
it.
Shepard should have gotten Eddie should have sacrificed himself and gone and rammed himself into the ship tower or something and then blown up, and then Sam Shepard should have been the one with the bug eyes going.
Well, Eddie does do that, except he just kills nameless North Koreans.
Yeah.
Nameless and faceless.
Yeah. And then I guess they
land his plane. I'm looking over it right now as we're talking about because he's on the ground.
He's on the ground because Eddie can land vertically like a Harrier. So it lands.
This sucks, man.
Yeah,
it's a really stupid ending.
He blows everybody up, and then they just make it over the border to South Korea, and they're rescued there. It's very kind of lame.
And then cut to Jamie Foxx's funeral. Yeah, I think Joe Morton is in this scene, right?
You might be standing there, yeah, but it's like Jamie.
Yeah, he's holding a bomb, and he's like.
It's typecast all the time.
Yeah, but always the bomb man.
They have the funeral on the flight deck of the aircraft carrier, but they have the biggest photo of Jamie Foxx I've ever seen. Where would you? How would you get this made? It's so big.
You can get that printed out at a.
Do you
store.
go to
Yeah, is it a frame too?
It has. Yeah,
it looks like they got shrunk down beside a normal photo of Jamie
It's
Foxx.
comical. It's do they have Kinkos in the middle of the ocean? Maybe the aircraft carrier has a Kinkos on it, and then
yeah, a Kinko's and a McDonald's
and a framing shop.
They got it all. Yeah,
but it's a big carrier.
It's huge. It's so big. And it's right at the edge of the aircraft carrier too.
It's gonna blow
away. It does look like it's
gonna
fly off.
Just fly off. I don't know. That's pretty funny.
I, for some reason, had a memory that Jamie Foxx came back and he didn't actually die.
You look at the robot?
No.
There's a credit sequence where he turns and he has a red eye.
I thought he was just I escaped to the last second and you didn't see it, I guess.
That's the way they bring him back after Ray was such a huge hit.
Yeah, stealth too.
Yeah, you're probably
still stealthing.
Yeah.
You're probably in your mind, Jamie Foxx, the actor, came back, but you were really remembering his.
Can I point out
photo.
there's very little stealth in this movie?
Yeah, they're not super stealthy at all.
They mention it
no.
I think they mention it once. Eddie says, "Oh, my stealth capabilities have been destroyed," or something like that. Maybe that's the code that he gives the Russians to turn off the stealth capabilities. But it's otherwise.
No, they just fly into places.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, blow them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he confesses his love of Jessica Biel. He doesn't want to say it.
He does it in a really nerdy way, and then she calls him a pussy. Like, the end.
Just tell me you love me, you pussy. Cut the credits.
It's kind of funny, but
they don't even kiss.
No, I was like, come on, give me a big romantic gesture, something. It's just like
they should have been looking up.
And then the plane's like, oh, that's not professional. And they're like, oh, you. And they all laugh.
No, they're staring over the edge of the aircraft carrier. They look up into the sky, and then it's Jamie Foxx's ghost.
Yeah, it's like a Van Helsing ending. It's like, it's his face in the clouds, and the plane comes through the clouds toward the camera, and it's like, ooh, up.
Yeah.
But he's like hugging the sphere, like Eddie. It's like him and Eddie in the sky.
Like they're friends?
Yeah.
Eddie's still alive at the end of this, right?
Yeah, it's a reveal. April, you left, but they go back to North Korea, and then the camera like kind of pans over the.
The stinger?
Yeah, and then you see the little eye come to life.
Do you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds like you made it up.
No,
It sounds like you made
it's kind of like not mid credits, but it happens like right.
Oh my
It just
God.
comes to life, and it's like Eddie will return.
Has Jessica Biel ever been like the girlfriend in a Marvel movie? Because that seems like a perfect role for her.
I don't think so.
Those thankless female partners of male superheroes.
I mean, technically, Blade is a Marvel movie.
Yes,
You're
that's
right.
true.
Although
Blade
she
3.
wasn't a girlfriend.
She was
For a second,
whistling.
I was
she
like,
will be back in. Oh, she's guaranteed to be back in Deadpool and Wolverine, right?
You think so?
She was in the.
Ryan Reynolds is in Blade 3.
Yeah. You mean like
Hannibal.
as a joke?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh no, because they're gonna bring back all the Fox people or all the other in Deadpool.
Looks
and
like I'm
Wolverine.
gonna have to catch up and watch Deadpool 2, which I never did.
It's okay.
Yeah,
pretty
that's what
fun.
everyone says. I mean, I like that director well enough.
Do you?
Well, I mean,
No one
he's
likes
okay.
that director. Yeah.
What did he direct? Was that Chad?
Hobbs and Shaw,
Isn't he do the Fall Guy, right?
Atomic Blonde. Yeah, he did Fall
I
Guy.
liked Atomic Blonde quite a bit.
Yeah, I actually did too. Bullet Train just looked insufferable.
That was him.
Oh, Bullet Train's not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, for a second I was like, well, she was in the Fantastic Four, right? No, that was Jessica Alba.
Alba.
Get those two confused. So Stealth.
5 stars.
Watch.
It's not terrible.
I'm gonna,
but it is. It has a lot of problems.
I want to keep
man.
this as a record, like a log. So
Don't watch it again.
yeah, I won't forget that it's not good.
Stealth, and then you see it again.
I'm like, yeah, Stealth was really great because I'm only remembering like.
Like you're gonna pitch it as an episode. You're like, oh, we should do Stealth. And then you're like, wait a minute.
It's come up so many times. I actually had to search and make
through?
sure we didn't do it.
yeah, I'm gonna log it on Letterboxd and make sure that I remind myself. Nope, you're just remembering the first 20 minutes.
Stealth, not as good as you remember.
No, just
But there is funny scenes in it. But yeah, sitting through this whole movie was a bit trying.
the Jessica Biel falling scene is so funny.
And maybe the Jamie Foxx death too.
That's kind of funny too.
I would
yeah.
watch that. Like I said, it's fun to pick apart. There is a pretty fun, I would say 80-minute movie in here.
Yeah.
If they just trim
Yeah.
so much stuff out.
Big time.
You know,
Big
but
time.
that's not the movie it is. So you can rent this on iTunes
Yeah.
for $5.
Or just go to Apple Music, listen to Incubus.
Yeah, I bet you there's a Stealth soundtrack with music by Incubus or
There's
something like that.
absolutely
Oh,
a soundtrack for
100%.
this movie.
Well, that song during the end credits had a female singer, and I was like, who is that? Is that the lady from Garbage? It wasn't. It was the lady from The Pretenders.
Oh.
The Pretenders. I was shocked. But yeah, I was an Incubus fan back in the day, so I enjoyed it. The music. That is. The music, not the movie. So if you want to email us, we're at nosuchthingasabadmovie@gmail.com, and we're on Twitter and Instagram at nosuchthingpod. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, we're on patreon.com/nosuchthingasabadmovie. And if you're subscribed at the $5 level, you'll get a bonus episode every 2 weeks. And we also have a ton of extra stuff on there. We've got Q&As, we've got commentary tracks, and lots more surprises coming up. So if you would like to support us, check that out. And if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at April at Mansky.
You can find me on Twitter, DeCluJ, DCLOUX, the letter J, or every week on the Important Cinema Club podcast.
You can follow me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA. But for now, I'm going to be in the back room listening to some Incubus.
Incubus. I mean, April's blasting it every day, right?
I'm the Incubus fan. It's funny, they're considered nu metal, but it's not like, as harsh as kind of the more gothic nu metal stuff. It is like loud and it can be angry, but it was on the more alternative nu metal side. And that was Nu Metal Corner with April Atmansky. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for maybe another summer blockbuster, maybe?
Who knows?
Whose pick is it?
It's you, I think, Colin.
Oh.
I think so.
It's all in your corner.
Yay.
And
Click.
wait, what did we do last? Oh, hang on. It's not you, Colin.
Oh,
It's
it's
Justin,
Rennie
because you did Cutthroat Island last time.
Oh, no.
It's actually
Click.
it's gonna, oh, no. Oh, God.
I think it's time to visit the Sandman.
I'm April Atmansky.
I'm Justin
I'm
McClough.
Colin Cunningham.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.
And I'm Eddie.
Terrible Eddie voice.
I'm Eddie.
Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Eddie.
Yeah, that sounded more like Eddie.
Yes.